Kalis, a little bit of a reshuffle. We see Hodgson at fullback, Luke Burt back into the first grade side. One wing, Jason Moody the other. Lyon and Violecki the centres. Buettner at 5/8, Jason Taylor at half. Daniel Wagon moved to the lock forward position and captains the side behind the Hindmarsh brothers. And up front, Andrew Ryan into the front row alongside Vella and Drew. On the interchange bench, Marsh, Solomona, Jason Kalis and Danny Sullivan, coached by Brian Smith.
And a couple of changes to the Panthers size. Wesser at fullback, Beckett, Rooney, Girdler, Hinson, Carter and Rodwell at the halves, Sattler at lock, Caddick and Pulatua, Gall and Adamson, Gower the hooker. On the interchange bench, McGilvray, Cross, Hopkins and Reek, coached by Royce Simmons.
Lovely day, Sunday afternoon in Sydney town. Andrews on the sideline.
Oh, Ray, no better place to be on a Sunday afternoon than at the footy with a day like this one. Breeze won't really play a part. Big afternoon for Luke Burt, as Peter Sterling said, a welcome back to first grade. He missed the first 3 months because of an ankle injury. Luke on screen there. In some ways, he's starting his career all over again. Still only 19, but the potential to be a real crowd pleaser.
And the referee for the game, Bill Harrigan, positioned on the far side of the ground, over on the touchline. The Michael Cronin stand side as Girdler takes us into action in this round 14 game between team number 3 in the competition up against team number 13. Penrith are 4 points adrift of the top 8 as we go into this game, and Nathan Hindmarsh goes into that tackle 15 metres away from his own line.
Beauty about this clash, but Ray, forget where they are on the premiership ladder. Nothing between these sides. Penrith will certainly rise to the occasion. They love playing Parramatta more than any other side, as Ryan takes it outside the 30.
A couple of interesting duels in this game, in particular the number 9s. Drew, with his new club Parramatta, he basically left Penrith because he wanted to play first grade on a regular basis, but Craig Gower was holding down that job, and here's Wesser with a big run back towards the 40-metre line, pulled down eventually as Penrith get their first touch of the ball since the kickoff. And Sattler through to Carter, Carter away to Girdler, and Girdler is put down by Buettner. Got the ball away to Pulatua. Pulatua runs straight at Hindmarsh and Drew, and he makes the halfway line. He'll play it in the centre of the ground. Opening exchanges of Eels versus Panthers. This prop forward Jody Gall is tackled just outside the 40-metre line. Adamson goes towards the 30-metre line. He's pulled down eventually, and getting the ball away and doing so for Girdler to play it, and they come on a blindside run with Gower back to Carter, Carter back to Rodwell. Rodwell crosses the 30, goes through up the middle, makes 10 metres, is pulled down by Nathan Hindmarsh. So the Panthers on the attack now. It's Gower, goes to the air. The chase is on. Rooney coming down the ground, but Hodgson is there to take it in the end goal on the full. That takes us back to the 20-metre line. Good kick by Gower. He's got all the skills. And Parramatta picking up 8 metres on the 20-metre tap restart. This is Ian Hindmarsh, a surging run. Oh, and then he threw it down far too hard for Andrew Ryan, and all his good work was undone. Probably still entitled to catch it, but he is a front row forward, and it was just thrust down to him. He'd done so well, though. Ian Hindmarsh.
You mentioned Luke Burt back in the first grade, so too Ryan Girdler. As Scott Sattler takes the ball from a lock forward position. Girdler has not played since before State of Origin. He's a welcome addition. Pulatua takes it 22 out on the second tackle.
So the mistake from Parramatta might prove costly. Adamson takes it up. Good tackle front on by Drew. And now they go to the blind side. They've got numbers with Sattler. And Sattler looks around to get it back to Gower, but he takes the tackle of Vella. 9 metres out from the line. Parramatta under siege at the moment as it goes away, and it's a nasty pass, but it's well taken out there by the number 11, Caddick. They work the right, the kick off Rodwell, and Hodgson. Oh, that's good football. Vella will make it back into the field of play. Not only that, makes a run of 15 metres. Well, that was confidence from Hodgson. He knew he was in trouble. He knew it was a line dropout, and he got it away. And this was the incident I'm talking about. Confident rugby league.
It's become the trend in rugby league now. Pass the ball in your in goal to get out of trouble. You don't want repeat sets for the opposition. And Hodgson that time very bravely handed it off to Vella, who did well himself, not only to run it out, but to actually be there in the first place. A forward getting back to support his fullback.
Wagon sweeping it across onto the left for Violecki, and Violecki got through one, almost got through the second of Adamson. Bad play the ball there, no dummy half, and Taylor eventually gets the pass from a makeshift dummy half before putting it in the air, and that's Rooney in jumper 21, bringing it down 25 metres out from his own line. So Parramatta, for the first time in the game, looking at Penrith's territory, where they'll be keen to keep them at least until they make a mistake. And a penalty goes to Penrith. Harrigan penalising for the 10 metres. I thought for a moment it might have been the markers.
I think Royce Simmons will be happy with this start by the Panthers. He said on the footy show this morning that ball control has been their biggest problem this season already. 3 sets of 6. They've completed them well and pushed the ball into the end goal to give the opposition problems. They need to do that for the full 80 minutes to beat this Parramatta team.
Rodwell there, finding Carter. Carter finding Adamson. Adamson running wide. Big runner of the ball, Adamson. Made the conversion from full-back to forwards. He's done it well. They put it down. Taylor picks it up. Taylor taken down in a hard tackle by Scott Sattler. That would have shaken him up a bit. Now Butner away for Violecki. Violecki shrugs away from a tackle by Joby. Strong Violecki. And he's pulled down 8 metres on his own side of the halfway. Nathan Hindmarsh now to the halfway, and he's pulled down, made to play the ball by Sattler. Drew, Ryan, cut out ball. Taylor, short ball, picking up Ian Hindmarsh. And he's tackled on the 40-metre line, Penrith's end of the park. Taylor again works the blind side. Andrew Ryan playing in the front row today. He's been doing well with number 13 on his back. He plays it now when he gets the opportunity on the 30-metre line. Drew goes away for Taylor. Taylor goes across for Butner. Butner lets one go. Hindmarsh was the decoy. Hodgson came in. Violecki is with the ball. And Violecki will play the ball. Again exhibiting strength out there, Violecki. A little bit of Michael Cronin showing through in Violecki's ability to stand in tackles. Butner's kick. Pressure here. It's a challenge for Parramatta. But Bill Harrigan takes them back to the 20-metre line.
And the second time that Luke Rooney has come up with a great catch on a Jason Taylor kick. Only his second game in first grade. He got good position there. He was able to pluck the ball out of the air to defuse the situation. Well done to the winger.
Wesser picked up and driven back to the 30-metre line. Wagon wearing number 13 today. He's become a very versatile player, Daniel Wagon, hasn't he? You can throw him the centre jumper, the 5/8 jumper, lock forward, just about anywhere. The kid that was a winger with St George. And now that play the ball has brought about a scrum. Royce Simmons, the head goes down. Why wouldn't it? I mean, first-grade players, and they can't play the football.
Well, his head went down because he just heard Phil Gould's comments about good ball control at the beginning of this game.
Yeah, 2 sets in a row since they've dropped the ball. Royce Simmons puts his hands to his mouth, says, no, please, not again. But a good opportunity for Parramatta early in the game. Come on, Royce, get the head up, boy.
Nathan Hindmarsh ordered out of the scrum to be treated by a trainer.
This
is the way the blood bin operates these days. Here's Luke Burt coming down the short side. Play on the Cronin side of the ground. Very poor crowd in here today. Quite unbelievable for Parramatta versus Penrith. Played by Vella. Now it's from Drew for Ryan. Oh, gee, that tackle got up a bit from Adamson. But Ryan plays the ball 21 metres away from the Panthers line. Out to Taylor. Taylor tries to generate something. Fires the ball back to Ian Hindmarsh. And he will play the ball 20 metres away from the Panthers line. Taylor across to the left, finding Butner. Steps one way, then the other. Lofts the ball out. Violecki. Violecki gets away from Hinson out there and is able to get the ball away. Parramatta keeping it alive. Taylor then, 15 out. Goes for the kick. It's up and across towards Rooney's wing again. This time Parramatta. This time Parramatta. They have put the ball down. Bill Harrigan points to the spot. It is a try for the blue and gold.
And you've got to say a brilliant piece of coaching here from Brian Smith. In the last 2 minutes, he has swapped Luke Burt and Jason Moody from their different wings, and he's put Moody up against Luke Rooney, a rookie in first grade, and it has paid immediate dividends. Here's Taylor putting up the high kick. Again, pinpoint accuracy. Moody, who is extremely good in the air, gets over the top of Rooney. And I was wondering why up to 7 minutes Brian Smith would make that change. We've just seen evidence why.
Well, on the previous kick from Buettner, it was Luke Burt that was out-jumped by Rooney. This time, Moody across there, gets the good leap. The player coming forward has the advantage. Does well to hold on to it. Did he lose it there? And in fact, Girdler put it back in his grasp. Some suggestion there that perhaps Moody lost the ball and Girdler, in slapping at it, forced it back into his chest before he put the ball down. But nevertheless, great kick, great catch, good try.
7 from 8 last week for Jason. And here he is from 9 in and 21 outs. Kicking towards the southern end, the Brett Kenny hill end of the ground. Got a cloud in the sky as Taylor puts this one through the uprights. Further 2 points for the Eels. 6-0 after 10 minutes as we take a break on the wide world of sports. For the Penrith, for the restart. And Girdler doing what he did precisely 10 minutes ago. Swinging this match into action. Nathan Hindmarsh brings it away just outside the 10-metre line. Own into the ground naturally. His brother Ian probably dominating this game more than Nathan, who's had that little bit of a blood problem. But nevertheless, Ian's been playing well. Drew did fine. Hodgson's there, runs away from Wesser, turns the fullback around, falls over, gets up, goes again, gets it away, back to Hindmarsh. Nathan goes over the top of Wesser again. He's having a good day, Reese. Hodgson went round him, Hindmarsh went over him. Now Parramatta gets a penalty. Brilliant passage of play. Brad Drew would have got tremendous satisfaction out of his performance there, and the number 1 from Parramatta was electric.
If Nathan Blacklock is doing everything right in front of New South Wales selectors, what about the number 1 for Parramatta? He is in electric form at the moment. He was going that quickly here. His feet couldn't keep up with him. Slipped over, and even at the end, still got away a brilliant pass. Underneath, kept the ball alive. Nathan Hindmarsh up against the fullback now. Bang. I like the fact we're seeing Nathan Hindmarsh early in this game play tight. He does get normally wide to the left, but I think it helps his game if he gets some early involvement in the middle of the ruck. And there Matt Rodwell is penalised for keeping his hand on the football.
Jason Taylor then, 20 metres in. 30 out. To extend this scoreboard from 6-0 to 8-0. Parramatta's way. Try to Moody at minute number 9. Converted by Taylor, who's pressing to go past Michael Cronin. Here comes point number 4 for the day. He needs 6 to move past Michael in the 2nd position on the all-time premiership point scorers list. Andrew Voss, sideline.
And Ray, there's some terrific young players in this Parramatta side, and I'll tell you another thing, they're good listeners as well. After the Jason Moody try, the Eels head trainer Alan Wilson was out on the field with really barking the orders from Brian Smith, and it was to break the Panthers' spirit, make that set of 6 to follow up the Moody try really count at full pelt, and that's exactly what they did, carried out his instructions to the letter.
Girdler again, getting plenty of practice. It's something that he doesn't really enjoy.
Let's go, one, let's go, quickly. Pull back, Pat.
Splash of Jack Gibson coming through in Sterling's commentary. Comment about Hodgson, he said his feet couldn't keep up with him.
That's quick, Ray.
Good stepping by Taylor. There's support from Buettner. There's support from Drew, but he doesn't see him. Penalty Parramatta. No, it's gone the other way.
Well, he's saying, Bill Harrigan, that Michael Buettner planted the football before getting off the ground.
I'll tell you what, Mick. If you can get up with the ball and they knock you down, I'd penalise them. You had it on the ground.
Yeah, he's exactly right, I think. The referee, Bill Harrigan. I think that Michael Buettner was still on his knees when he planted the football. And what happened after that is of no consequence.
Rodwell finding the line. 30 metres away for Gower. Putting Jody Gall ahead, and then Gower supports Carter in a dummy half, and Tony Pulatua 10 metres out from the line. Rodwell, short ball for Adamson, launching himself. Adamson has had a go at it, and Matt Adamson thinks he's done it for Penrith.
Well, there's no doubt that if the ball has got to the line, it's a try, because the momentum in the tackle was still going. He had every right to reach out and put the ball over. And it does appear as though, certainly from his reaction, that that's exactly what he's been able to achieve. Good strong run. It's been a strong start for him. That's a try.
Matt Adamson getting back, launching himself, and he's put it down right under the black dot for a try for the Panthers, which will be no doubt converted, and we'll have a scoreboard of 8-6 when all of this is over.
And if Brad Drew got a lot of satisfaction out of some of his early charges, Matt Adamson will get the same kind of delight up against his old team. Spent a number of years here at Parramatta along with his brother Phil. Actually started at Parramatta here as a winger. Now the big number 10 on his back. And this should be a green light.
So a try for Matt Adamson. Coming 14 minutes into the game, or 15 minutes to be precise. And here it is on replay.
There's really nothing on here, Rodwell. Just a simple play back on the inside to Adamson, but strength and determination, and just, I guess, knowing his team needed to get on the scoreboard, had him lunging at the line, and the good awareness to realise that the momentum in his tackle had not ceased, that the ball carrying the arm had not touched the ground. Frees himself of the tacklers, realising he's in good position, gets it across the line, and that's good determination from the big fellow, who hasn't given up hope of getting a blue jersey, a New South Wales jersey. In fact, I believe he has said to his club that unless he can represent this year, he's considering either going to England or retiring.
Well, the penalty against Michael Butner really comes back to haunt Parramatta as Girdler makes no mistake, and 8 points to 6 to score. The Eels over Penrith. 16 minutes gone. We'll take this break and come back. Nathan Kalis, the suspended captain for Parramatta, as I said at the top of the show. First time they've played this season without Nathan. He's really been one of the foundation stones for this club, as young as he is. So Parramatta leading by 2 points as Hodgson takes us down to Penrith's end of the ground for the number 8 to bring it back. That's Jody Gall. 15 metres out from his own line. Adamson, the try scorer, coming across to link up. Adamson and Gall, the front row forwards. Caddick and Pulatua, second row. Sattler at lock. This is Pulatua. And now it's Caddick's turn. So we've had both props, both second rowers. And that's tackle number 4. Gower. Across for Sattler. Ball goes to ground, and Bill Harrigan says play on. And he's ordered 5 and last. So Wesser to kick in close to the sideline. And it's going to be a penalty to Parramatta. It's against the Panther player for not allowing the Parramatta player to get at the ball.
Yeah, here's a good game of chicken. Very difficult for both these players, coming at full pelt towards the ball. Beckett goes for the kick and grabs Hodgson as he goes past him, effectively taking Hodgson out of the play, but an awkward bounce for both players.
Ryan. Butner did well. Then it's away from Hindmarsh. Here's Lyon, the centre. He puts on a sprint. He opens it up. He's going for it. He's got it. Jamie Lyon. Lightning acceleration when he let it go.
Yeah, mark down this kid's name. He could be anything. He might be the best of the Parramatta youngsters coming through. And I think, with all due respect, Parramatta could not have scored this try 2 or 3 seasons ago. Wonderful combination between the backs and the forwards. Ryan, Buettner, Hindmarsh. Flat line pass to Jamie Lyon. He looked to see where his support was, what the best option was. Put the pedal down and go for it yourself. Despite West's attention on the line, he gets across. Great combination and great attacking from their own 20.
Well, I knew this kid was talented. I've seen him do some marvellous things with his hands, even the little kick and chase and tremendous balls, passes. But I didn't know he had this speed. This was a half chance turned into a certainty in the space of 3 strides. He looked for support. I guess the Panthers were caught unawares by his speed as well. He easily got round Carter. Reece Wesser does his best to grab hold of him, but that's a great try. And off the first tackle from a tap kick. One side of the field to the other for the Parramatta Eels.
So an important kick coming up for Jason Taylor. This will take him past the great Michael Cronin and into second position on the all-time point scorers list. Premiership points, that is. Taylor, he's got it. I went to say he's got it, and I thought, hang on, don't hex him, don't Jonah him. Jason Taylor, the second highest point scorer ever, behind Darryl Halligan now. So Andrew.
And Ray, they reckon up in Wee Waa when Jamie Lyon, that's where he hails from, when he scores, they like to take a half-day holiday. They had to wait 13 rounds to get his first try this year. That was a great one last week against the Roosters. Now he's backed it up with an even better try today here at the Panthers. So everyone in Wee Waa, you can sleep in tomorrow, Monday morning.
And on the man who converted that try, Jason Taylor, he might have played most of his football in a red and black jersey, but how fitting that he goes past Michael Cronin here at the Parramatta Stadium. Michael Cronin kicked the ball off here at the opening in 1986. And of course we have the stand named after him. If he was going to go past him at any venue, this was the one.
Lovely moment to be here and see one of the all-time great goal kickers eclipsing Nick Cronin as number 2 behind Darryl Halligan now, as Taylor drops it onto the right foot and sends Rooney on a long run back 12 metres out from his own line. Parramatta's chase right up to the mark. 14-6 in favour of the Eels. 2 tries to 1, 3 goals to 1. Rooney. Gower. Able to run a long way. 10-metre defence line didn't really move up. Sattler now. To the short side for Rodwell, and Rodwell gets a kick in, and Hodgson comes up and is pulled down by Pulatua 30 metres out from his own line. Jason Moody, who got that skydiving try just 10 minutes ago. Daniel Waggett, beg your pardon, David Violecki. Now from Drew, across for Nathan Hindmarsh, now for Jason Kalis, and he's tackled right in the centre of the ground. Drew, Ryan. Chance here for Girdler. Couldn't pick it up. Buettner does. Lyons away again. Lyons got Gower coming across. Gower makes the tackle, puts him into touch. Great defence by the Penrith dummy half.
It was a wonderful tackle by Craig Gower, and Jamie Lyon, he makes a mistake here, because after Ryan Girdler touches this football, it is 6 again to the home side. Now I think Jamie Lyon, when he got the ball from Michael Buettner and came to the defence, had a pass back on the inside. He'll have a look here in a moment. That's where he should have thrown it. But Gower, excellent tackle to save his side.
Rooney in from the left wing. Play back for Carter to feed, and Penrith have got McGilvray on in the headgear, and he loses it. It's a clean strip. It's a one-on-one situation from Harrigan. Hindmarsh.
The ref actually called he tried to pass that football, so okay. No dramas.
Drew, Wagon, Taylor, Ryan. Short ball. And Ian Hindmarsh wasn't able to take it. But had he have been able to get a catch on it, he was into open pasture. Girdler, Rodwell, Hinson. He's put away. 31 metres out from his own line. Rodwell using Beckett down the right side, but outnumbered over there, gets a penalty anyway.
Well, Bill Harrigan calling penalty against Parramatta for inside the 10. And pointed to Daniel Wagon as being the main offender, but he had some partners in crime.
14-6. Pulatua. Now McGilvray. And picked up and driven down under the shoulder of Ian Hindmarsh. Now for Carter. He switches the point of attack over to Rodwell. Rodwell back he goes and picks up Katic. Katic is put down eventually by Wagon over the top of Butner. Now Rodwell. This is Gower. Gower back inside for Pulatua. Penrith then. 18 metres away from the line. Sattler. Long ball, finding Girdler. He kicks for Rooney. Rooney's come up with the football.
6 again.
And 6 more tackles. Carter. Bouncing ball for Wesser. Drew pulls him down 7 metres from the line. Hinson. Rodwell. Sattler. He loses it. Hudson. Away from Pulatua. Taken by Gower. Gets it away for Ryan. Tackled by Gower. Careless.
Well, a let-off there for Parramatta. They had to face another 4 tackles if the Panthers hadn't dropped the football. But what a tackle from Ian Hindmarsh under his own posts.
Wagon. This was the tackle Peter's talking about. Tackle on Sattler. Rodwell gave the ball to Sattler in heavy traffic. Very hard for him to take it. But the tackle certainly didn't help him either. Now, did that ball come off a Panther? Harrigan thinks not, and it's Hinson who'll play the ball for the Panthers. 30 metres out from the line. Rodwell goes right and finds Katic. Katic had Beckett on his outside. We'll play back for Rodwell again. Then across for Gower. Gower for Carter. Carter finding Girdler. Girdler steps off his left foot, steps into traffic, and is pulled down 20 metres away from the Parramatta line. 14-6 Parramatta leading, but here comes the Panthers with McGilvray and a strong surge. Ending just 2 metres away from the corner post. Then from Carter. Now for Gower. Gower away for Rodwell. Rodwell tries to get the ball away, and Pulatua's over. Pulatua's over. Rodwell persevered. I think originally Pulatua was in front of him, and they had to do a little bit of a double shuffle. It's a try, though.
The Eels are starting to pay the penalty for making mistakes at their own end of the ground. That time Jason Taylor shaping to pass, got hit by a defender. Panthers came up with the football, and Matt Rodwell here, very well done. He holds it back, then realises that Pulatua is behind him, and too much strength from that close to get across. They had to be the next to score even this far out, and they've achieved that lovely little ball there by Rodwell. He attracted 2 defenders and opened up the hole.
And this man, big Tony Pulatua, he spent the first 8 weeks out with a knee injury. He came back on the bench. He's only had a couple of starts so far, obviously getting a little fitter. Beautiful play here by Rodwell. Holds it up, waits till Wagon comes to him and gives Pulatua the chance. If this fella can get deep and on the edges and just run into little short passes like that, he's a real handful for any team. It's nice to see him back in the starting side, and by the looks of it, starting to enjoy his football.
Big celebrations for Tony Pulatua. Class act. Came through the televised junior competition from memory. John Paul at Blacktown. Girdler. And success again for Penrith. 14 points to 12 now. The Eels over the Panthers at the 28th minute. Reece Wesser on the alert. Right behind the uprights. As Hodgson kicks off and Carter sends McGilvray back to them. Good run by McGilvray leading up to that try for the Panthers. He took it right to the line.
Yeah, it's about his third or fourth real good run since he came onto the field. He's had a big injection for the Panthers. They were struggling to go forward. They need those big front rower types to get over the advantage line and create some space for him. Here's a chance.
Hopkins. To the halfway line they go with Girdler. And then Rodwell over for Pulatua. Just on the Parramatta side of halfway. 2 points the margin. 2 tries each. Rodwell. And that ball, Hodgson looking at it, willing it across the sideline, and eventually it does that for him.
Interesting comment by Andrew Voss early in the game that Brian Smith sent a message out to break their spirit. They were 6 in front, looking for 8. You know, maybe in another game and another time, but in local derbies, your spirit just doesn't tend to get broken. And again, the Panthers have hit back 14-12 on the scoreboard. They've done very well to this stage. The Parramatta know that they're in a game.
Certainly. Here's Solomona. Contrasting game to their first encounter 13 or 14 weeks ago. It was well and truly over by now. 40 points to 4 as Wagon comes down the right side. Play back for PJ Marsh and now again for Solomona. Back from Wagon to Ian Hindmarsh. Shrugs off a tackle from Carter, but then goes down under the tackle of Rooney.
Don't you love watching David Solomona? Every time he goes into a tackle, you just wonder how he's going to get the ball out the back this time. And just when you think it's gone, he'll pop it out and the play will play on.
Taylor then sees a big space between Wesser and Beckett. And it goes over the dead ball line. You were talking about Solomona.
Yeah, watch this. He catches the ball. He's got to stop and get it behind him. Ball out in front in 2 hands. Now it's in the left hand. He'll fend. He'll just tease the crowd a little bit by showing it with one hand out that side. Nothing on there. He'll pull it back in, come back around this side, and pop it out there with the right hand. Nicely done.
Hopkins. Gower. Rodwell. Sattler. Rodwell backing up. Parramatta's 40-metre line now. John Cross is on for the Panthers. McGilvray with again another strong effort down the right side before Rodwell puts a kick in. The chasers are after it, Hopkins in particular. Moody's got a job on his hands here. Moody fends away from Hopkins. Gower comes across and they nail him in the in goal. Good chase by the Panthers.
It was a good chase, and Jason Moody must have been very tempted here to throw the football to Luke Burt. Just have a look. Hodgson coming across with Moody. Now Luke Burt on the far side is unmarked. There he is on the outside. Moody thought, no, don't want to make a mistake. Not be able to get in myself, but unfortunately for the home team, it will be a restart by Hodgson under the black dot.
Carter on the 40-metre line. McGilvray. And that man making the tackle with Solomona is Danny Sullivan.
19-year-old making his first grade debut.
Matt Adamson. 20 metres away now from the Parramatta line. Sattler turns it in for Beckett. Beckett will be made to play at 10 metres away. Northeastern corner. Rodwell. Carter. Carter floating it out for Girdler. Girdler kicks for Rooney. The chase is on Rooney. Rooney scores. That's a try. Harrigan points to the spot. Beautiful kick by Girdler on the run. Then the bounce was immaculate for Rooney.
Well, you know that this is a pet play from Ryan Girdler, but the hard thing about knowing is actually combating it. See here, Jason Moody up in the line. You think he's got time to turn around and chase, but the big number 21 comes over the back, gets the ball down just inside the dead ball line, and they've hit back wonderfully well, the Panthers, after trailing by a few. Ryan Girdler, left foot kick, straight between, in fact, it's Luke Burt who probably is the quickest in the club, gets a little bit of a shove there from the try scorer, but that's okay because they were both competing for the football.
He actually got his body in good position there, Luke Burt. He knew that the kick was on. He turned himself inside out. He got between Rooney and the ball. He looks a likely candidate, this Rooney. Tall, rangy, obviously very quick. Ryan Girdler's had no hesitation a couple of occasions putting a little kick through for him. Feel he can get past his opposite number. And good determination there. It's a fair challenge. They were both going for the football and the bigger man won out.
Girdler then attempting to convert. Peter made the point there, and he's quite right. When you're competing for the football, you're allowed to jostle and bump one another. I don't know that you're allowed to push in the back, and I'm just wondering whether Moody might have got pushed in the back. Or Burt. Now Girdler. Girdler. Still on line. It's there. Conversion for Girdler. So Penrith have turned it around. 18-14 now. Andrew.
Yeah, Ray, turned it around is exactly the phrase to use. Turned it around on that round one clash. I remember Roy Simmons in the press conference after that game in round one as we watched Rooney go over for the try again. He just said, look, our side became too easily rattled. Every time Parramatta scored or we made a drop ball that would lead to a Parramatta try, we just dropped our bundle. Hasn't happened today, though. Parramatta, every time the Eels have scored, Panthers have replied, and now Panthers get back-to-back tries and find themselves in front for the first time in the match.
Well, he's had a wonderful game so far, Rooney. Forgetting about the try that was scored against him. I mean, that's going to happen against any winger, but Phil Gould made the point, and it's so right. He looks like a likely comer. This boy out on the wing in jumper 21, Luke Rooney. Gower. Landing on the shoulder, 30 metres away from his own line. Slow play the ball. Adamson away from Sullivan and then away from Hindmarsh and giving it on, and Hopkins got it on for Wesser. 38 metres out from his line. Gower picking it up one-handed, offloading for Sattler. Sattler pushes away and then almost reaches the halfway line as he plays the ball. Rodwell going straight down to Luke Burt. Now Hodgson. Now it's Moody. Burt. Well, Moody and Burt have switched again, Peter.
Oh, it's constantly happening. That's the thing is that Luke Burt, he's got a fair bit taller than the last time I saw him. He looks more like Jason Moody than he used to. First game back for Luke Burt since the preliminary final at the end of last year. Danny Sullivan takes it to the halfway line on the fourth tackle.
Marsh.
Put him up. No one goes early.
Solomona. Taylor.
Don't touch.
Plugging it in behind Rooney. There it is, going down onto that southern corner. So Rooney's got some work to do. No, he hasn't. Wesser has. Buettner's after him. Parramatta's after him. The posse are chasing him. He runs around the back of one of the own players, and he's put into touch. It's a penalty. It's a penalty to Parramatta. Wesser had everybody bar the chief constable chasing him.
Ah, glorious, isn't it? Luke Rooney. As you say, it's now Reece Wesser's problem, and he knows he's got a problem. In, away, I'm going backwards. Here's the play.
Five metres out from the line, Parramatta with a chance. Nathan Hindmarsh. 18-14, the Panthers in front. Marsh. Wagon. Taylor now. Cuts out Solomona, picks up Buettner. Buettner goes away for Hindmarsh. Ian Hindmarsh. So close. Hodgson. Taylor. Long ball. Wagon. Now for Sullivan.
Wide last. On the line.
2 minutes from half-time. Marsh. Taylor. Grabbing kick. Panthers let it go over the dead ball line.
That is very rare for Jason Taylor not to get the ball in the in-goal area. They got the ball back from the penalty from Reece Wesser. He's run straight behind Robbie Beckett. Eventually gets taken into touch by Violecki, but he travelled about 100 metres to go for.
Cross. 5 metres on his own side of halfway as Gower comes away, tries to start something down the blind side, and he cops Solomona's shoulder. McGilvray. Such an even contest. Rodwell, they're all onside as Hodgson. Oh, what a take! And the winger, Moody's there now, but he wasn't there originally.
This is magical, on the fly. Misjudged it a little bit, still kept his eyes on the balls. Wants to pass now. He's got to wait for Moody to catch up, who'd been back to support his fullback. Otherwise, there was a try on offer. That little delay just allowed the Panthers defence to regroup, as we see now a penalty for Parramatta Eels. Jason Taylor keen to get on with it.
45 seconds to half-time. Marsh. Wagon on the 30. Taylor. Solomona. Sullivan! Solomona again. To the blind side they go. Nathan Hindmarsh gets rid of one. Says who wants it. There it is. He's still with it, Nathan. Gets it away. Marsh is there. And Marsh tackled 12 metres from the line. Hodgson for Taylor. Taylor for Wagon. Wagon will make it. Wagon's over. Sustained pressure. Tremendous strength. And persistence by Hindmarsh.
Yeah, great determination by a lot of players. On this occasion, Parramatta, as they've done so often, as we freeze it there, they're trying to sell to the opposition that it's a second-man pass, as it has been most of the afternoon. But when this player comes up right flat outside Jason Taylor, he delivers. You can see there, he still had plenty of work to do, but instead of running into 2 defenders, he only had to take on 1 because of that second-man runner. And what a time to score right on the stroke of half-time. Steve Carter unable to make the tackle on Wagon. And eventually, Wesser gets pushed off as well. Tremendous fight back again. Great game of footy here at Para Stadium. That's what we expected.
Yeah, the very experienced ball players are very good ones. Just know which player to give it to. Know which opportunity's the best. And he saw that Daniel Wagon there had a chance at running at a half gap on one player's arm. He knew that player, the running the ball, had great strength. Daniel Wagon hasn't let him down. And the Eels will take a likely lead to the half-time break.
Taylor then to go within 60 points of Darryl Halligan. That he should do, and then he can have a little break. It is 20 points to 18. Parramatta taking this 2-point lead into the half-time break. 3 tries to both clubs. Wonderful contest. As we take a break and come back with the second half on the Wide World of Sports in just a moment. Parramatta still to come back. Steve Carter equaling the club first-grade appearances record today. Been a most interesting game of football. Tries a level. First one, then the other. And it's just so typical of a local derby.
Yeah, to his new possession flow charts look this way, remembering that the black columns are errors, and the shorter they are, the worse it is because it's early in the tackle count. Parramatta pretty good early on. Coloured columns, of course, up to 5 means that they've controlled the ball well. An early try through that ball control. Then it fell apart for a little while for Parramatta during this section. This is where they made some mistakes in their own territory, and Penrith made them pay, and then they finished strongly. 2 sets of 6 back-to-back here, leading to that final try to Daniel Wagon. Well, Penrith, as Phil pointed out, they didn't make a mistake their first 3 uses of the football. They kicked on the third time they had the footy. Then they made some errors as well. And when they were able to control possession, they were able to put points on the board. Only 18 uses for each team, which is relatively low at this level of footy.
And the match stats there, down the bottom, 50% possession each. However, the Eels have done far more tackling. The Penrith Panthers will have done far more miss tackling. And that's probably where we have a scoreline at the moment, 20 to 18. Line breaks 3-2 in favour of the Eels.
Bill Harrigan blowing time on now for the second half. which, if it replicates the first, then we're going to have just an incredible afternoon of entertainment. This is McGilvray. Came on about midway through the first half, and he really put some spark into the Penrith attack. Adamson scored one of the Penrith 3 tries. The Sattler pushes away from Nathan Hindmarsh. It doesn't help him very much because the other defenders put him down 1 metre further up the ground. Gower out from dummy half, crossing the halfway line. Round the corner pass for John Cross. Then it's away for Ryan Girdler. Girdler kicks into the corner. The bounce is bad for Rooney. But a lovely ball by Gower.
Yeah, tremendous round the corner pass there from Craig Gower. And Ryan Girdler must have great faith in this young Luke Rooney. Every time there's half a chance to kick, he kicks. Watch Gower now, out of dummy half, right foot step, round the back of Michael Butner, gets the ball to John Cross. That's beautiful football. Now back on the inside to Girdler, and as soon as Girdler can get himself free of defence, he will look to kick to the outside without even looking to see if his winger was ready. He just knows that this kid can fly, and he's keen to kick for him on every occasion.
So Parramatta bringing the ball off their own line. They spread it quickly out to Violecki. Pushes away from Wesser. They got him into touch. Well, that is bad play by Violecki. Into touch on the first tackle. Pushed away from Wesser the first time, but Wesser would not go away. Called for reinforcements. So Penrith will attack the Parramatta line again early in the second half. 30 metres away from the Eels line. Penrith running towards the southern end in the second half. Rodwell for Carter, Carter for Girdler, Girdler for Rodwell, Rodwell for Wesser, and Wesser is tackled 28 metres away from the Parramatta line. Now it's Hopkins as they prepare to spin the ball back to the right of the ground. Plenty of troops waiting. Rodwell, a forward hit up from McGilvray. And now it's come across for Sattler. Then for Gower. Gower for Cross. 10 metres out from the line. Gower puts the grubbing kick in. Came off one Parramatta player, then another Parramatta player before it came down for Gower. Not played at. Cross puts a kick in. In the in goal, it's taken by Parramatta's Wagon. He decides to pass. Gives it back to Hodgson. And Hodgson is grounded. A line drop out to restart.
Oh, we say again, plenty of players willing to unload the ball in their own in-goal. Good little kick here from Cross. He had the wherewithal to know that it wasn't tackle 5, even though it was touched in the previous ruck by a Parramatta player. Wagon here gets his hands on the football. He's attended by Robbie Beckett. Well, I'm not going to go down with it. Here, you have a shot. Get out of here. Gets it back to Hodgson. Hodgson well attended by Cross and Beckett. They're able to keep him in the in-goal, and more pressure now for the Parramatta Eels. Going all right, the Panthers.
Going all right for a team that is placed second last on the competition ladder. And they are playing team number 3, Adamson. That's where they are on the table. Coming into the weekend. McGilvray taken by Sullivan. Gower then back for Hopkins, as Hopkins will be made to play the ball 10 metres away from the Parramatta line. Play back to Gower. Gower across for Carter. Rodwell's with it now. Lets a player go before finding Wesser coming in from the back, and Wesser who's put down on that 10-metre line. They continue this attack. Rodwell finding John Cross now, and he's put down, ball and all, by Nathan Hindmarsh. Rodwell to the right of the ground. Puts the grubbing kick in. Oh, Hinson was right on top of it before it was deflected. And it's gone Parramatta's way for a 20-metre restart.
Yeah, it looked as though the Parramatta players were just waiting back for someone else to dive on it. Violecki and Hodgson almost allowing Hinson to come through. Parramatta came out to the 20-metre after going over the dead ball line off the Penrith player. Had Now received a penalty.
Taylor's line finder on the Parramatta 40-metre line. Short ball eventually finding Vella from Taylor. 2 passes in from the 10-metre line, played by Sullivan, and now it's with Marsh.
Yeah, Michael Vella is out there after only 4.5 minutes. Quite unusual to see an interchange made after a long break at half-time within the first 5 of the second half.
Buechner sees a half an opportunity. Crowd groans. Taylor. Marsh. Marsh. Can he get it away? Off the boots. Play on. And West has got the ball for Penrith.
One. Ball onside.
Hodgson kicked the ball twice. Sullivan hits hard on Hinson. Rooney.
3, Danny, when you're spinning, don't back slam him. 3.
Bill Harrigan telling Sullivan, when you spin him over on his back, don't head slam him. Penrith now making a complete meal of it.
Gee, I thought there might have been a Parramatta hand in there somewhere, but the referee said no. It's still the 3rd tackle.
Sattler. Adamson. Adamson running at Violecki, and he and Moody bring the big prop forward to ground. Rudwell kicking down to Hodgson. Hodgson takes it magnificently. Hopkins the tackler.
Well, you feel like you're repeating yourself sometimes, but Brett Hodgson here, another brave take under pressure, going across field to a high ball. Geez, he's doing his representative, chances no harm, and a nice ball back there on the inside to Moody.
Andrew's back from the sheds. Andrew.
Well, at half-time, Roy Simmons said he wanted more of the same. I think he's getting it from his troops. He just thought, look, we've shown we can force the Eels into errors just like that. If we keep that up, we can win this game. Steve Carter, little knee problem since half-time, a problem with the left shoulder of Matthew Rodwell. And from Brian Smith, in contrast, he said, look, it was us who we let them back into the game through our own mistakes in the first half. We hang on to the ball, we win this game.
Here's Adamson now, again running into Sullivan and Wagon. He's a tough nut, this Sullivan. He likes his work. John Cross makes a mistake. Scrum will go down.
It's a pet play by the Panthers and well read by Parramatta. They got themselves ready for this. They put pressure on Gower, didn't allow him ball playing time. As a result, a bad pass to Cross, who couldn't help but knock it on. Here it is. You'll see that Rodwell comes around the short side. He'll now throw the ball back to the dummy half Gower, and what's meant to happen is Cross is to come back on the inside. But Wagon's been well tipped off by his coach. They've obviously practiced that in defence, put pressure on Gower and forced a mistake.
And by putting on that move, Penrith are looking to split the markers from Parramatta, send them both different ways. Hopefully a big gap up the middle. As you could see from that replay, there was some space as Luke Burt feeds the scrum.
Yeah, that's one. Let him up now, quick, Ryan.
30-metre line, Parramatta's end. With Michael Vella. Referees this weekend, I've noticed a Sullivan, good football. Wagon, Buechner over the top for Violecki, and Violecki will play the ball almost on the halfway line just to complete that. They've been emphasising to the near side prop that he must have his outside foot forward. Nathan Hindmarsh. Well, 4 of them had a go, and eventually they get him down. Marsh. Wagon. Taylor. Ryan. Hodgson. Wonderful hand. Lyon. 30 metres out from the line. Marsh to the blind side. Rooney has batted it over the dead ball line. So Parramatta will get it back.
Watch Hodgson here. Pops it up, gets down, doesn't panic, holds onto it. Oh, scrape of paint there, keeping it off the ground. And then what's this? Beautiful pass out the back. Now down the short side. Good kick, good chase, set up for them. The opportunity for a restart of play from a line drop out from the Panthers. They are exciting when they start to string some passes together, and they're not afraid to try and pop the ball back out the back, knowing that they've got support waiting for it.
It's amazing, you know, when you look at this kid, Brett Hodgson. He's the same boy that used to wear the black and white jumper, and I don't think anybody ever thought that he was this good.
No, and he basically played number 7 back then. I've got to say that he is playing a similar style to Darren Lockyer at the moment. He is as dangerous in attack for the Blue and Golds. And tonight, or this afternoon, you've seen him under pressure with kicks and defensively. No mistakes.
Now Parramatta with Marsh. Getting it away. Hodgson flicks it on. Wagon's going for the line. Wagon's over. Did he get it down? Did he get it down?
I think he did, Ray.
Bill Harrigan's going to give it. It's a try to Parramatta. Number 2 for Daniel Wagon, captain for the day.
And 2 in a row, and some nice interplay again involving PJ Marsh out of dummy half. Got between the markers, then Hodgson, beautiful ball on the Wagon. I think he gets the ball down pretty much as soon as he gets over the line, right there. So he ended up pretty much on his back. This should show it up very nicely, whether he does get contact with the ground. I'm sure that he does. Wagon strength again. Between Hinson, Rodwell pushes through Wester, and I think right there, yep, no doubt.
Yeah, Bill Harrigan trusting his linesman there. Defence starts at the play of the ball, and that time the Panthers had a good line, but the markers didn't do their job. It just allowed Marsh to get out, throw a little dummy, get him behind them. That then sent the defensive line into disarray. Little interchange of passing, and Wagon was able to find a gap on the edge of the ruck. He's playing good football, and great reward for him this week. Standing captain while Nathan Kalis is suspended. That speaks volumes for the way Brian Smith feels about this young man. Great leader in the making.
Taylor, 15 in from touch, 20 metres out to convert the 4th try of the day. 4 goals for Taylor. Hits it, it's coming around, it's there. 2 more points to Parramatta's total. They lead 26-18, 53rd minute. Wide World of Sports on 9. Girdler starts again. Will Parramatta extend their lead, or will it be a case of deja vu? The other team, it's your turn. That's what it's been all day. First one, then the other. Neither able to get a big break. Violecki plays it back. Hodgson, dummy half, uses Vella. Vella runs straight at the centre. Andrew Hinson defending on the right side for Penrith. Marsh at dummy half. Marsh relieving Brad Drew. 20 missed tackles for the Panthers, and many of those have been just on the fringe of the ruck. Hodgson, beautiful long pass, but Moody would not agree with that comment. In fact, I'll rescind the comment. It was a long pass that landed way out in front of Moody. He had no hope with it. Andrews on the sideline.
Ray, if interchange is a game of poker, well, Brian Smith has raised his bet, trying to force the issue since half-time. Sterlo mentioned Michael Vella coming back into the game after just 4 minutes of the second half. Well, by the 10-minute mark of the second half, he'd made 3 changes already. I can't remember a game this year, none of the changes forced by injury, so he's really looking for a lift in performance, and he got the try out of his team.
Gower. Quick play, the ball given to him by Sattler, and he picked it up one-handed and took off to the 30-metre line. Rodwell away for Carter. Carter's pass is forward. Girdler's away, but referee Bill Harrigan agrees with me. Carter apologising to his teammates.
And it's just one that slipped. It's gone out the other side. Straight forward, picked up by Girdler. Not that it'll account for anything, but Girdler's pass on the end of this, where he turns the ball back inside to Rooney, was magical as well. He'll just hold line off. They haven't heard the referee. What's that for a ball? Gee whiz, it's not going to count. Steve Carter apologising to his teammates. Sorry, boys.
Taylor out at 5'8" on that occasion. And is that Andrew Ryan? Yes, it was. Taylor then. Lobbing it down. Rooney calling on all his speed to get back. No fullback there. And Parramatta's chase stopping Rooney back in that corner.
Clever stuff there from the Eels, just a change in momentum there, kicking early in the tackle count. Still got Penrith players in front of the play the ball trying to get back. Already 3 tackles against them, and it's inside the 10 from their own line. So a nice tactic there, just to put the opposition on the back foot, although Sattler's done very well.
Just outside the 20-metre line, Penrith enter the park, and this is Gall. Tacklers were Ryan and Kalis. Charged down by Taylor on Rodwell. Wesser wins the race for the ball. Taylor puts the tackle on. Penrith now with only 2 players available.
And again, this is where Parramatta would be quite happy to play the balls. Penrith still getting back. They thought they were chasing kick down the other end of the field. Difficult to get out of your own end, although they've strung some passes wide to Girdler. He's kept it alive as well to Hopkins.
Gower, Girdler, cross, all down that very narrow blind side for Penrith. Carter in for Gall, I think it was, then Pulatua, and back for Gall again to the halfway line. So 5 tackles gone for Penrith. They're trailing 26 points to 18, and Hodgson bringing it out of that corner at the southern end, southwestern corner. This young fullback who's had a brilliant game will play it on his own 20-metre line. Moody.
Well, I know that they've conceded 26 points already and they have missed a lot of tackles, but I still find it incredible to believe that this team we're watching out there this afternoon is running second last in the competition. They are so much a better side than where they are placed on the ladder. It's not funny.
Ryan ducked under Pulatua's tackle. Now Drew, then Kalis, Taylor, across, Nathan Hindmarsh, off his left foot, gets the arms free, pulled down by Sattler's low tackle. Drew goes down the short side, turns it on the inside, Violecki can't take it, Rodwell gets the pass away, Parramatta comes back with the football. Starts the tackle count again. Michael Vella. 30 metres away from the line. Kalis pulled down by Pulatua and Gall. And 8 points for margin in favour of Parramatta. Here's Brad Drew. 15 out from the line now. From Taylor now. And Wagon will get number 3. Wagon gets try number 3. Well, Taylor, they hung off him. They knew he would pass, but they left it too late to cover and shut down the runners when he did.
Well, again, Penrith paying the penalty for giving away possession. This is first tackle. In fact, it's before a tackle has been completed. Rodwell trying to get the ball wide. Gave Jason Taylor an opportunity to bat it back towards his team. And Nathan Hindmarsh cleaned up. Now, if you're a ball player, all you want is bodies in motion. You just want troops there. And as Taylor scoots out of dummy half, he frees it. You can see this player coming back on an angle is committing that defender, and that allows Daniel Wagon, that man there, as play continues, to run into the hole. And as I say, if you're a ball player, you just want the option and the opportunity to put it onto somebody's chest who you think is in the best position.
Just like the try in the first half before half-time, Taylor, an option of 2 players. And it's the good ball players that know at the last moment which one to give it to. For all intents and purposes, he looked as though the long ball was on, but able to hold it up at the last moment for Wagon, who just keeps himself onside, stays with his little halfback. He says, if I hang here, there's going to be an opportunity for sure, and there was.
I don't think that Wagon's ever been over for a treble, even when he was playing on the wing. I'm just looking at David Middleton, the guru, who's not sure. Taylor converts. Daniel Wagon's 3rd try. 32-18's the score at the hour.
Stay on side, fellas.
The look of a coach.
Stay on.
On the end of starting to look like it's going to be a hiding. Very competitive game right through to half-time, and even with 32-18 on the scoreboard.
Let him go, let him go.
This has still been A most competitive performance. Nathan Hindmarsh is away. Nathan's away. Moody goes towards the centre of the ground. Wesser brings him down in a beautiful tackle. Sloppy play the ball. Drew is tackled again by Wesser. He's a good little player, the Penrith #1. Nathan goes for the line. Nathan Hindmarsh, that is. Last tackle for Parramatta. Hodgson, long ball, finding Taylor. They're going to create numbers on the right of the ground. Quick hands. Now the winger's unmarked. Lyon gets it away to him. Back on the inside. Buettner lays it on the ground. It's a try. It's a try for Luke Burt. Burt scores for Parramatta.
Well, playing with enormous confidence, aren't they, Parramatta? As Ray pointed out earlier, undefeated in their last 7. It looks like being 8. So much upper body strength from this man. Through Henson, through Matt Rodwell. And then he's got good speed as well. Trying to find a support player, but thought, no, I'll go myself here. Robbie Beckett not even taking a great deal of ground off him. And Reece Wesser does a fine job to come in with a copybook tackle to save the try on that occasion. And then on the last tackle, Parramatta go wide. Andrew Ryan at outside centre. Looked like it might have broken down when it came to Jamie Lyon here. The flick back inside, Luke Burt throws it to Buettner. He realises it's the last, pops it out the back, and Burt is still alive to dive across.
As we said earlier, great confidence in each other. Know that someone will be there in support. I'll pop this back to Burt. Burt gets it on to Buettner, and Buettner knows even though he's going down, someone will be there if he can get the ball back into play. Luke Burt doubled around, handled twice, got the try. Great ball playing by the Parramatta side. They've really upped the tempo in the last 10 minutes on this Penrith team.
You're right, you know, Gus. I reckon they found another gear. They've slipped it up into another one. Here's Taylor from 15 in. This will be goal number 7. Perfect record today. Hits it. And online again. So Parramatta brings a hand clap from the suspended captain. 38-18. 63rd minute.
On 60 Minutes, Nicole Kidman, the interview.
There's a lot of raw emotions.
On Tom, the kids, the split.
I try to be tough.
And the question the world's been asking.
What happened?
Tonight on 60 Minutes.
For this Sunday, Monday and Tuesday only at Kmart, there's 25% off all men's, women's and children's clothing, sleepwear and underwear. We think 25% off our already low prices is just what you need.
For the first time, Domain's huge choice in home theatre, TVs, cameras, DVDs, laundry and kitchen must-haves are yours 3 years interest-free. That's right, with just 1/3 deposit. Minimum purchase $500. 3 years interest-free.
Girdler starts. 20 points behind. Parramatta. They're in top gear. Vella. Drew. Ryan. This is the bloke that I keep... Every time we do a Parramatta game, I make the point that he's one of their best players. He doesn't probably get the raps, but they can shuffle him around 13, 8, 11, 12. Doesn't matter. He gets a big job done for Parramatta, and this boy today, who does get the raps, is really back in top form, Nathan Hindmarsh.
Well, I've said before about Nathan Hindmarsh, he's got incredible upper body strength, and most of it is natural. Country boy off the farm. I don't think it's the kind of strength that you get in the gym.
Well, what do you get it, milking cows or something?
I think you get it with the lifestyle that you lead growing up on a farm. You're doing plenty of hard work early in your life, and it's just put him in great stead. Wonderful pick up there from Wesser on a bouncing ball. And they must be looking at each other in disbelief, the Panthers. Trailed by 2 at the break. We're not that far into the second half. Still a quarter of the game to go, and all of a sudden it's out of reach.
Rooney. Back from Gall to Gower. Gower to Pulatua. You were brought up in the country.
I didn't do much work when I was young, Ray.
Still don't. Now Girdler. Back for Rodwell. Halfway line. Gower. Sattler. Scotty Sattler trying to get away from Daniel Wagon. 42 metres away from the Parramatta line. Pulatua.
Shift worker, Ray. Mention work, I shift.
Blindside rush. Plenty of personnel there. Here's a chance for Gower. Gower's over. Penrith score, try number 4, 38-22.
He started at Craig Gower and he finished it. Been the talk of the rugby league over the last couple of weeks with his contract up for grabs. This time out of dummy half, finds a nice selective pass on the outside to Hinson, backs up, throws the dummy. Hodgson goes for Sattler, and Gower will be able to plant one down. Still 14-15 minutes left on the clock. I don't know that they're going to catch Parramatta, but they can certainly make it interesting. Good play out of there, good dummy from Hinson. Nice awareness, keeps himself alive, Gower. Now he's got fullback to beat, 2-on-1. What will Hodgson do? Here, you take that one. I'm going this way. And comfortably gets the ball into the in goal.
What's your guess, Gus? Number 9 for Penrith. Will he still have it on his back next year?
We see those two players sitting down on the ground, Drew and Gower.
Yes.
I think they'll play together.
You think he's coming to Parramatta?
That's what I think.
Okay. So with number 7 on his back?
Well, I think Brad Drew will be hoping that.
Well, I, for one, hope you're wrong, because I know how important that man on screen is to Penrith. The community up there is a footballer. I hope he does stay. As Ryan Girdler about to look to convert, he is one man definitely in the Penrith colours next year. At the moment, we've got the same scoreline, Penrith at Parramatta and the Roosters last week.
Girdler, it's getting away. You don't see that very often. Ryan Girdler missing one. 38-22, Andrew.
And I was just listening to Roy Simmons. He still reckons there are hope in the game, telling his players we're still a chance here. Let's get another try and really put him under some pressure. Bad news, though. Steve Carter won't be back. He has succumbed to a knee injury before this try, so Steve Carter will not be back. I was just looking at the run that the Panthers have had. The boys are right. Look, they haven't played bad here today, even though there's been 38 points against them. But what about the run they've had? They played well against Newcastle last week, got beat. They're playing Parramatta today, pretty close to red-hot form and attack. And next week, they run into the Brisbane Broncos. It's a tough run if you're trying to turn your season around.
Stay behind.
Peter Sterling's thoughts about Craig Gower probably echoing the thoughts of most of us. Go way back. Bob McCarthy and Gary Stevens probably were never meant to wear other than the red and green. Neither was Ray Brannigan or John O'Neill. As Parramatta get the football in the goal mouth of Penrith. Drew. Like a little block of granite, tries to get it over the line. Wagon. Through to Hodgson. Tries to step through the big man. Leave that to somebody else, Brett. Butner has a look around. Who wants it? Vella. Worming his way towards the line. Then from Drew, bad pass. Wagon. Taylor. Ryan. Ryan's over. Good on you, Andrew. Good on you, son. One vote that I might have got right. 42-22. Yeah, Ryan scores for the Eels.
Yeah, the boss of the Andrew Ryan fan club, and it's a good club to be in. Really bad mistake on your own line here, Penrith, giving the ball away, second tackle. Been an unhappy passage to play this one for Matt Rodwell. He knocked on there, and he's also the man that gets pushed off here by a much larger man, you must say, but he had a pretty good shot at Andrew Ryan. The big right fen just came out, and a simple try for the front row. He doesn't get many, but he's involved in creating plenty with his workaholic attitude.
I've got to say that the structure there, the formation of the Panthers' defensive line really opened the way for Andrew Ryan. From the time that play the ball was on offer, they just stretched their defence too far across the field. Look at this. This winger's out protecting the corner post. Now look at the big gaps around the post, and it just gets wider the further it goes. One good pass, and now they're in all sorts of trouble. This winger's done nothing to protect his inside defenders. The centre's gone up past the ball. That's terrible formation. And no angle in their defence whatsoever. It firstly presented gaps on the outside to the Parramatta players.
Is that an example of the 12-4 taking its effect as the game gets right into the back end?
No, it's an example of poor defence, and it's dogged them all season. If you're going to stand that wide in defence, you've got to come in. If you're going to slide, you've got to at least get in and make the gaps narrow to start with. Just terrible formation.
Taylor, 22 out, 10 in. And don't tell me, yeah, we've seen Girdler and Taylor miss goals consecutively. 42-22, Andrew.
On the sideline here, just before Jason took that shot at goal, Daniel Wagon, big reception for him as he came from the field. A 3-try effort this afternoon. His first stint on the bench. Vella there, Nathan Hindmarsh and PJ Marsh. And David Solomona comes into the game for the last 10 minutes. He really went to town against the Roosters last week in the last stages of the match. He might do the same here.
It's Ryan Girdler restarting. Jason Taylor, being the perfectionist he is, he won't be happy with the 7 that he's got. The one he'll be filthy with is the one he's just missed.
64 points on the board. I don't know what was the biggest score of Parramatta over Penrith. It might have been that game back at Belmore many years ago, their biggest win. They're not going to do that today, but it is starting to climb alarmingly. 42-22. 40-4 in round 1. Which is a bit of a shame when you look at that scoreboard, because I seem to recall we were talking about how good the Penrith performance was only about 15 minutes ago. As Drew puts a little kick in, fullback is deep, that's Wesser. Drew gets it back. Drew gets it away. Sullivan has run in. Coming up is Violecki. Hodgson gets it away. Taylor looks for the line. Taylor's in. Taylor's over. What a good try. Brad Drew, he started it. Jason Taylor, he finished it.
Well, it's just like a runaway train, isn't it now? Everything that Parramatta are doing is great, coming off. As we freeze it here, this is the last tackle. That's Brad Drew out of dummy half. It is a huge gap. You can't even see the fullback as play continues. Why wouldn't Brad Drew kick in behind the front line? No sweeper at all. Reece Wesser, well, he wasn't favoured by the bounce as the number 9 for Parramatta was. Danny Sullivan did a good job to be there. He's having a wow of a game in his first ever top grade game. And Jason Taylor, well, he's playing like a spring chicken. Beats 3 with some good footwork to get the try. And he's racking up the points. He might get Daryl Halligan this afternoon as well.
Yeah, and that will hurt the Panthers more than just on the scoreboard. Seeing Brad Drew get out of dummy half. He played with the Panthers last year. Many believe he should still be at the foot of the mountains. A chip and chase there. Watch the ball from Hodgson. Bang, bang. Quick hands there. Gives Taylor the opportunity. Now, right foot step. If you thought that was a fluke, I'll give you another one. Right foot step. He's beat them comfortably. Dives in alongside the post. He won't miss this one, I'll guarantee you.
Jeez, I hope you're right, Gus.
Oh, he's brave.
I'd hate to see him miss it. 12 out. He's got it. You're okay, Gus. I love your guarantees. 48-22. 70 points gone. 73 minutes gone.
And Ray, I can only report what I hear and what I see down on this sideline. I reckon even the Panther supporters were cheering that last try. I'll just draw your attention to one player that we may see figure in the last changes too, David Violecki. He's wearing green boots today. Now, you don't pick them up because they're on the green grass, obviously. But look, we're still talking about Chenga's white boots 26 years after the 75 grand final. Maybe David wants to go into the history books as well. I've never seen him before. Green boots.
Jason Califf.
That's one down back.
Chance for Penrith to pick up a try. Hinson.
Yeah, held.
Ball popping out from Jason Califf. It might have got some help, I'm not sure. Rodwell. Then from Gow. Gow across the girdle. Runners on his inside. Wesser's there. Wesser 2 metres from the line. Just in from the corner post. Gower, first receiver, handles that just as well, if not better. Rodwell gives the pass, and over they go. Ned Caddick. Ned Caddick scores for Penrith. That's try number 5 for them.
Well, this is starting to look like a Super 12 scoreline. Defence has just completely gone out the window. Jason Kalis here. He was dispossessed by the shoulder of the number 11, Ned Caddick. I think that's fair enough. And Matt Rodwell does very well here after some players were drawn in for Parramatta in defence. He opened up the hole again. Too little too late, unfortunately.
Nice selective passing here from Craig Gower. He had Adamson on the fly, selectively around the back to Rodwell. He was then able to draw the defence and stick it onto a flying Ned Caddick to run the ball in. Perhaps Parramatta didn't think they were going to be defending at that particular stage. They dropped the ball from the kickoff. Just lessened their resolve a little bit on their try line. Now we're getting to, I think, a score line that's probably a little embarrassing for both sides. I don't think neither coach will be very happy with the scoreline conceded today.
I think this is the second, or is it the second highest points scored against Parramatta this season. 48-26, 48-28. 48-28 with Girdler successful with the conversion.
And the simple fact, Ray, is if you score 28 points in the NRL competition, you should be winning games.
Well, we've probably had 3 or 4 teams this year score 30 and lose games. No, the Eagles did it twice, and the Roosters have done it once. Still time for the Panthers to add to that tally. Nice play here on the outside. He's a pretty handy player, Ned Caddick. Started his career as a lower grade winger. He's only just developed into a back rower. There's a little bit of a future there for him, as there is with a number of these young Panthers, but they just need time, and they don't need big scorelines like this shattering their confidence.
Making a similar point to the one I did just earlier, though. I mean, that scoreline against you before 12-4 interchange, that would be alarming. I mean, we have seen teams open up with tiredness in the latter part of a lot of games this season.
Ray, I always thought that the 12-4, the new format with interchange, would take a season for players to get used to. Not a matter of weeks. It's a different mentality as well. Like so many of these players have been raised on football since coming into grade, where they probably only had to play 20 or 30 minutes of football, and that was in 10-minute patches at times. I think we'll see even a better competition after they've had a full season of this under their belt, as Gower on the halfway line. Tackled by Sullivan, help from Drew and Solomona.
Adamson across for John Cross. And I don't think I've seen this bloke, John Cross, come off the bench in any match that I've covered for Channel 9.
Now getting to the latter stage of his career, John Cross, and it's been a good career too. Started down there at Illawarra, came across to the foot of the mountains after the Super League days. There's Jason Taylor, second highest point scorer in premiership history. Very happy with his day's work, and a great acquisition for the Parramatta Eels.
20 points in the game for Jason Taylor. Try and 8 goals. And this match has now got just under 3 minutes to go. 48-28. Solomona out wide. Now they come around him like bees to the honey pot. Hodgson was the first one there, and he's tackled 5 metres into Penrith territory. Why wouldn't you follow David Solomona? Sullivan not prepared to give up. He gets another 5 metres out of it. 30 metres away now from the Penrith line. From Drew, across through Marsh. Butner shaped a kick, held it back. Violecki in the green boots. Makes his way down the left-hand touchline. Got a ball inside. Butner had it, but he's lost it one-on-one.
David, quickly roll away 1.
Play just inside the 20-metre line, Penrith end of the park. Friday night, by the way. Here's a clean break made by Girdler, and support is coming. Matthew Reek is there, and they still can't complete it.
Well, again, as Phil pointed out, Brian Smith will be happy with the win. He'll be happy with the 48 points, but he'll be very disappointed with the points conceded and the fact they have been opened up on a number of occasions. Of course, next Friday night, an absolute beauty to kick off round 15. We go up to Marathon. The Knights, a little bit of pressure off them now, I suppose, with that loss, taking on the Roosters. 2 sides that many people expect will be there in the final 4. It's Marsh, taken by Rodwell.
Beautiful flick pass from Solomona. He's got all the skills. Now Moody.
They're not afraid to try something different, Parramatta. That's standing a second row out in the back line from a scrum win, looking for that type of play and that type of injection of skill from the big fella, number 17, David Solomona.
They did it earlier, Phil, with a front rower. Andrew Ryan was out there earlier on. Here's Drew into space again. It's not over yet. Ryan gets number 2. Andrew Ryan scores his second try, and again the instigator was Bradley Drew.
Yeah, a double ouch here for the Panthers, or a triple ouch. It's the second time that Brad Drew has split them in the space of 5 minutes. The former Panther out from dummy half. Some tired defence. People know communication. Turns it back on the inside. So that's 2 ounces on Brad Drew and 1 ounce for the 50 score line that's now been achieved. 52 points to 28. Nice little bit of footwork. Shimmy in and away. That's good football from the young hooker.
I know it might sound a bit ridiculous, but being beaten by 40-odd it's different to being beaten by over 50, unfortunately.
Peter, it's the highest points scored in a match this season. So 52 to 28. There's 2 to come. We have been watching the highest score in a game this season. I'm talking about the aggregate. Brett Hodgson will take the final kick. The records will show Taylor 8 from 9. Hodgson 1 from 1. The final score 54 to 28. Parramatta defeating Penrith. They gave them a similar hiding in round 1 at the Stadium Australia. It wasn't looking that way in round 14, but it turned out that way in finality. Wonderful game for Jason Taylor. A try and 8 goals. Hodgson was just brilliant at the back. Drew was magnificent at the front. 54-28 in front of a crowd of 14,019. If there was a disappointment other than the scoreline for Penrith, it would be that the local derby between the Eels and the Panthers could only attract 14,000 people today.